welcome to the Arcadiology Free Play. Today we're talking about Palworld. My name is Brad, and joining me today is my son Eli.
Hello.
This isn't a standard episode. This is going to be a little bit different than normal. It'll be like an extra bonus episode, so something in between our normal ones. So nothing's changing with the actual podcast. We'll still have a regular arcade episode out on its normal release date. But today we're going to talk about some Palworld. You excited, Eli?
Yep.
Been wanting to get you on to talk about some games here because there's a lot of different games we play together, so we'll try to sneak some of those in here with the regular podcast. All right, so this game, it kind of seemed like it almost came out of nowhere. Did you know anything about it before it actually released?
I didn't until I went downstairs and I saw you and Ezra playing it.
You didn't hear anything about it before then?
I think I saw a couple videos, but I didn't really see much.
Yeah, there wasn't really much. Like, I didn't see anything like on different gaming podcasts and stuff I listened to. No one was really talking about leading up to it. The only thing that it was like a while back, it was like a Facebook video, and I thought it was just like one of those things that someone just made like for fun, and it wasn't ever actually going to release. So I didn't ever actually expect it after seeing that. I just seen it and was like, oh, that looks cool. Too bad I'll probably never actually get to play it.
Oh, what I was going to say is I felt like it kind of just came out of nowhere. Just one day, it just was giant.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty crazy for such a small game. It didn't seem like it had like a ton of marketing or anything behind it. From what I saw, I didn't really know what to expect, but for some reason I thought it was going to be like a first-person shooter with like little creatures running around and stuff, but that's not even close to what it actually is.
Yeah, it seemed like the whole entire thing was literally going to be Pokemon with guns, but it really was just like, it's more of a survival type game is what it felt like.
I really don't normally like survival games just because they always feel like kind of too tedious. I don't want to like have to eat food to survive and stuff. I just want to get in and play the game.
Most of like the survival systems feel just more annoying than actually like a good feature that anyone wants.
Yeah, I mean some people might be into it, but it's really not my style normally. So I kind of usually tend to avoid them. But something about this one was actually really fun.
Yeah. I mean, the only other survival game that I really ever played was Minecraft, to be honest.
Yeah, true. That's probably one that mostly everyone has played or at least knows about. So this, as we said, is a survival game. It's like open world. You can pretty much just, as soon as you start, you can just go wherever you want. There's not really any restrictions. You just kind of wander off. And then there are these creatures running around that are called pals, which are basically just their version of Pokemon. They're just like little animal-like guys running around, and you can catch them, you can kill them, you can cook them, you can do all kinds of different stuff with them. So it's something a lot of people seem like they wanted from Pokemon to an extent, but it's something that I feel like Pokemon would actually never put something out like this.
Yeah, I felt like the tutorial didn't really tell you what to do. It just kind of threw you in there, that was the only thing.
Yeah, there was like one little guy when you first start, you step out of a cave or something, and I forget what he tells you. I think he tells you to craft something. But yeah, there's really not much guidance. You just got to kind of go in and figure it out for yourself. So when you first start out, you don't even have any pals. You don't have anything. You just kind of there's some stuff like right out the beginning, like little lambs and sheep and stuff like that are easy to kill or catch. So you pretty much just start off with something basic like that. You just catch them, and then you can level them up. Your character can level up.
I'm pretty sure at the beginning, the thing they told you to craft, it was the PAL bench.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense because that's pretty much what you need to get all your other crafting stuff started.
Yeah.
I mean, just pretty much that's just how it starts out. It's pretty much up to you to kind of figure out where to go from there. So it leaves it pretty open ended. And I remember when I first went down, there was just like a couple of little random ones that are real easy. Then there was like the giant mammoth one that's like green. And I was like, oh, I'm going to try to catch him because I was like, I don't want to start off with one of these little lame pals. I want something awesome. And then he just completely destroyed me. It took us so long before we even had a chance to get into him and actually do any damage.
We just caught him recently whenever we were trying to catch a bunch of good Pokemon, good pals, and all the good ones to fight Anubis.
Yeah, he was on our list for a long time. It took us forever before we actually had a chance at him. What did we call him? We had a nickname for him.
Big boy.
Big boy, that's it. Yeah, me and Nestor would be running around just yelling, "Big boy, there he is." Either got to run from him, or he's gonna just crush everyone. Yeah, with the the survival element of it, what makes it pretty nice is if you're not into that kind of thing, there's a lot of customizable settings. So you can turn down the hunger meter, you can turn up the catch rate and just all kinds of different things to kind of make the game way easier. So when I first started, I pretty much had mine on normal because I wasn't trying to take advantage of the system. And then Ezra wanted to play, so I started an extra account for her and just made it as easy as possible. Just cranked up the catch rate, cranked up the spawn rate of everything, and just made it as easy as I possibly could so it would be more fun for her. And then we all just me, you, and her just all started playing on that account instead.
Yeah, we kind of pretty much played on baby mode in our playthrough of the game, but it was still really fun to play, even though it kind of let us do whatever we want.
Yeah, it was nice to get a feel for it, just to kind of understand the mechanics of the game and all the different things you can do without having to struggle with all the extra survival mechanics.
It might be fun to play through again, but not get everything so easy.
Yeah, I would do that probably only if we had a multiplayer lobby, because the one we're playing is just solo. We just kind of take turns with the same character.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I think I saw some YouTubers kind of like a Minecraft server system where they invite a lot of people and they all play together on the same world, like 15 of them.
Yeah, that would be fun. And I feel like you could actually have more of a purpose than just kind of cranking up all the settings and just getting whatever you want.
Yeah.
So is there PvP in it, or are they all working together? I haven't messed with the multiplayer at all. Do you know?
I haven't actually watched it, but I was watching a YouTuber's just his single player playthrough, and he was talking about the whole YouTuber server.
Yeah, that'd be pretty fun if you had a server. I don't know if you can PvP, but that'd be pretty fun. You just have different sections, and you guys gotta build your own base and attack each other, and you have a whole group of pals coming in to fight.
Yeah, the PvP aspect seems really cool in that game. The only thing is, I don't know if they just. I mean, I know that they just invited all them because they all know each other, but it would be cool if they made a public game system where thousands of people could all play together simultaneously.
Yeah, I mean the world's pretty huge, so I feel like you could fit a lot of people in it as long as you spawn in different areas.
Yeah, definitely.
So I guess the main purpose of the game. I mean, you can kind of create your own fun, just kind of running around. You can build stuff. Your character levels up. As you kill them, the different pals, you get experience, or you can actually build stuff, and that also adds to your experience. And then occasionally you'll get a level up, and there's different stats you can increase. But we pretty much just focused on the one that gives us extra weight, so we can carry more stuff.
Yeah, I don't even think that unless it was an accident, I didn't put any of our stats into anything but keep making it so we can carry more things. I think what we were thinking was that strength was useless because we thought pals were the only thing that would actually help us at all. But I saw some videos online, and I think that if you get your strength enough, it actually is pretty helpful to help leveling up because you can go up to smaller pals, just hit them once and catch them.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that could be pretty beneficial doing it that way as well. I don't remember all the stats because, like we said, we just dumped it all into the extra weight because you can pick up different supplies, and then once you get so much, your weight's maxed out, and then your guy can't move anymore. So we figured we are just gonna pump it up as high as we could, so that we don't have to keep on backtracking to our base to drop stuff off. So it really made it a lot easier just to gather supplies and stuff like that without having to worry about the weight.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was just the simple ones in most survival games. I mean, I don't really play any survival games, like I said, but I think it was just strength, defense, and well, there was weight, like we were saying, but I don't. I think there was one more. I don't remember what it was though.
Maybe stamina, because you have a stamina meter when you're
Yeah,
running around. Maybe that was it.
there was another thing that was kind of like stats. Do you remember those? I think they were green orbs, and if you got them, they would increase your catch rate.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those. I want to say they're called effigies.
Yeah, something like that. We barely even got any of them though. I felt like.
Yeah, they just seem like they're everywhere. So occasionally we'd be traveling around, and you just kind of get sidetracked and keep on collecting them. We didn't even know what we were doing with them at first. We just kind of like it was just kind of fun to collect them.
Yeah, and wasn't there like like a statue place, and you could exchange them to increase your catch rate.
Yep, yeah, that's what they're for. I thought initially when we were collecting them, once we realized, I think it said something about increasing the catch rate. I thought it was just you just collect them and it increases it, but you have to actually go and turn them all in. So we were just piling them up and not even benefiting for quite a while.
They didn't even help us for most of the playthrough. It felt like
Yeah, we just went in with the baseline catch rate without really upgrading it.
I didn't really feel like we ever, like you were saying, I don't really feel like we ever actually went out of our way to get them though.
Yeah, there's so many that if you keep on trying to get them all, it's I feel like you won't be doing anything else because they're just scattered everywhere. Like you can be walking around and just see some in a distance, and if you get start heading that direction, then you see like six more all every other direction.
Yeah.
And also, when you're leveling up, you get skill points, which there's like a whole skill tree. It's like what do they call it? Technology, I guess.
Yeah, technology.
And that's what you use to unlock different things that you can build, so you can actually start making a base.
Yeah, there was like all kinds of stuff you can unlock. It was almost like a recipe system where if you used your points as you leveled up to buy the recipes, and then there was also the advanced technology points, I think they were called, which kind of just gave you more like better versions of those recipes.
Yeah, there were the regular ones and the advanced ones, which are kind of like they had two different skill points for either one.
Yeah, there was a lot of things too.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can max them out, maybe eventually, but I feel like there was a lot of stuff we were skipping over because some of it kind of seems redundant, or you're gonna get a better version of something similar, so you can kind of skip over some of them as you go.
Yeah, you could get like weapons and better POW balls, but there was a bunch of decorations, but whenever we were building our base, it didn't I don't really think we mess with those that much.
Oh yeah, you can do it for like aesthetic purposes, just for like different, like have like a mirror, like a fridge or something like that. I don't know if those are actually ones, but for example, those are kind of things you can decorate your base with.
We didn't really mess with those that much, but it's kind of a cool addition.
Yeah, we just stuck to the core like actual gameplay mechanic that's gonna help us out to help us build better things. Or you were really getting a lot of those like mounts for our pals.
Yeah. One of the other things we could get were like assembly lines, and those things were so annoying to make, remember?
Yeah, they take like supplies that are super hard to find or more rare. Like you got to get further into the game to actually even find any of this stuff.
Yeah, they definitely helped out a lot, though. They pretty much made it so like a lot of people could work on making something, and we pretty much just used it to make POW balls mostly.
Yeah, because initially you start out, you can only make like the basic ones, and then when you get like the further down, we got to like level 40 something. I think it caps out at level 50 at least initially, I believe. So we got pretty close to the end so far. And once you get up that far and you start getting like a more advanced stuff like that, you can get the pal balls that are have a way better catch rate, so you can catch like the more rare stuff.
Yeah, one annoying thing with the POW balls on Xbox controller was the button. I don't remember what it was, but the button that you throw the POW ball to is really close to another button that's really important. So I kept accidentally wasting our balls.
Yeah, it sucks. Is you just click it and it flies out. So we'd have like I don't remember what the best ones are called, but like the legendary balls or whatever they are, and we would just have them equipped. You just tap it and boom, it's gone. If even if there's nothing out there, and just wasted it.
Yeah, I remember we would always at least try to put on like the basic blue ones, but then if we forget, felt like every time that we forgot to have the blue ones on, we always threw them out.
Yeah, that's why whenever we'd let Ezra play, who was only 5, so she's it's actually surprising. This game is pretty accessible if you change the settings down. But we'd put on like the worst balls just in case she hits it while she's walking around. It doesn't like there's no downside to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyone with younger kids, this as long as you set their settings down, this is actually pretty playable for someone pretty young. Even if they're not really like progressing too much in the game, it's still fun for them just to run around and see what are essentially just Pokemon running around in like a massive world. So Definitely pretty entertaining.
Yeah, definitely. It seemed like she was able to do it really well and easily.
Yeah, it's probably like the first game the three of us have played together, and it's only single player, and we just pass the controller around. It's actually fun just to watch too.
I got kind of annoyed whenever I'd have to sit there and then I saw like a really good one or something and then I wasn't able to
Yeah.
catch it.
Yeah, you just want to grab it real quick and catch that so it doesn't get away.
Yeah.
I really got tied up in the like the base building. Like I'm not making an elaborate base. It's just like kind of scattered. It actually looks pretty terrible, but we just got like all the necessary equipment and all the different assembly lines and different farming stuff all set up at our bases.
Yeah, there it was really cool how like how many different like I know in Minecraft there's like a crafting table, but in Palworld there's like a crafting table and a workbench and a gun factory. There's all kinds of stuff which kind of made it like a whole thing that you had to do. You know what I mean? Like you couldn't get the gun if you didn't have the gun bench.
Yeah, you definitely had to make sure you had like the right benches, or there's certain things that are locked out that you'll never be able to get if you choose like the basic bench. Yeah, it's just the nature of the game, how it works. You just slowly progress. I mean, they got to give you some sort of something to look forward to. You can't just have the bench and have everything right off the bat. I guess it would probably take away from it a bit.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like they could have put some stuff together though cuz it was cool at the start, but it started to just get a little annoying as you went on that you had to make a new bench for every little item.
Then our whole base is just cluttered with all these different random
Yeah.
benches, and you got to kind of just memorize what does what, or you're running around in circles.
Yeah, I remember at one point we tried to make like walls around the base because of those like raiders that try to come in and kill all your pals. But the walls, we could never figure that out. That was kind of weird.
Yeah, we still never really did. We just kind of avoided it, and we just make sure we have a nice defended base with strong pals that are gonna stop them, so we don't really have to worry about it too much, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, our pal just kind of crushed them all whenever we needed them to. There was like that bell you had to ring, and then they attacked all the attackers. I mean, it kind of felt like the bell didn't really do anything, to be honest.
I understand the concept of it, but it doesn't really feel like it made a difference. It seems like they're still gonna fight whether you ring it or not.
Yeah. I mean, I think it might be for like kind of grinding out the one like you know the little sheeps you were talking about, like the little dumb ones. Maybe it's to
Right.
like grind them out whenever they're around your base.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, how we're saying about how you can have a base, you can build a base and put all these things in it. You can actually set pals to stay there at the base, and that's where they really come in handy because they can do different things for you. Like if you have a crafting bench and you start a project there, certain pals have the ability to go over to that bench and start making it for you. So you can kind of get all these different things set up at your base, and it's kind of just like automated. They're just working for you.
Yeah, that was really cool. I know that like they all had their special things. Like a fire type would be good at smelting. And I know that certain types can only do certain things. I know that the fire guys can only smell and the smaller ones are really good at building.
Yeah, they give a lot of them like their own purpose. They each have their own skills and different traits for working at the base or just fighting in general, but specifically at the base, like you were saying, that certain ones are better at different tasks. Like they'll have like a higher skill in it. So he'll be like better at mining stuff or better at building stuff. So you can really like stack your base pretty good with if you get the right pals and they just kind of do everything on their own for the most part.
Yeah, how I'm you're able to set your bases and then you're able to teleport. You know, you're able to teleport between those bases using your PAL bench. And so, remember, we had three bases, and we used one of them as a coal mine, where we it was like no, it was iron mine, I think is what we had it as, and there was like four different iron ores that just kept respawning, and we had all the best miners that would just keep on mining them, and then the little cat guys would carry them into a chest.
Yeah, those little cats come in clutch. They were like one of the first pals you can get, and they're actually like really good for your base, especially early on.
Yeah, I felt like it was really good at attacking too.
Yeah, yeah, definitely one of the earlier ones when you're first starting. I feel like that's a pretty good priority. 'Cause they're easy to catch and they're extremely useful. Like early, even the whole way up to mid game. I mean, I think we even still have some of them, and we're like level 40.
Yeah, we were using them a lot. We were actually using them in our main bench at first, but then as we progressed through the game, I realized that we just kind of throw them in as workers.
Yeah. You know what this game, I mean, that aspect of it, how we're just kind of keep upgrading the base and have like all this automation, it reminded me of that Roblox game we used to play, Islands. You remember that one?
Oh, yeah, I remember that game where didn't you have like a this is off topic, but didn't you have like I'm just making sure it's the right one. You had like coal vending machines and you would sell them. You had like sell blocks of coal or something.
Yeah, that's we got rich in that game. We was like dominated the economy by just making like this massive coal mine and selling coal blocks to everyone.
Didn't even really make sense because there was not really any purpose to coal, really.
It was just like an aesthetic thing. People like to build their bases out of it, so we just kind of realized that and figured how easy it was to make them. So we just set up like the most basic thing that anyone can make, but most people just don't. So we just kind of took advantage of that.
Another thing that kind of reminds me of Palworld in that game, there actually is also like 5 different benches, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's not something I originally. I think you mentioned it before when we were playing. I originally wouldn't have pieced that together, but there's actually a lot of similarities between the two games.
Yeah.
So, do you have a favorite pal?
You know that one, I don't remember his name. The big yellow guy, like the lightning god. We just called him
Uh,
Lightning God. What was his name?
I can't remember. There's so many of the different names. I can't keep them in line. I know exactly who you're talking about though. But yeah, that one was solid for sure.
Yeah, he had like a big lightning bolt across his. Here, I'm gonna send you a picture on Discord. You know him?
Yes, I do. Let me see if I can get his name real quick.
All right.
I can't remember what his name was, but either way, yeah, he's solid. He's like the massive, almost like a somewhat close to a Pikachu. I mean, not really. Color scheme and his electric ability, he kind of looks like him.
Yeah. Oh, it was a really weird name. I just sent it to you. I looked it up.
I'm sure I'm gonna butcher this, but Mosanda Lux.
Yeah, I
Guess that's
think
his
you said
name.
that right. When the one that we had, I think we had 2 of them, but the one that we had, he was really big. He was a boss. There was a cool feature in Power World where the bosses were oversized and they did more damage. I don't think you played Pokemon Sword, but in Pokemon Sword, there's actually a feature called Dynamaxing, and it just kind of made your Pokemon real big. So I don't know if they got inspiration from that or if it's just a coincidence or not.
They may have. I mean, obviously they took a lot of inspiration from Pokemon, so that would just be one more, which isn't much of a stretch.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, yeah, it is kind of a bit of a ripoff of Pokemon. You can't deny that. But they do have a lot of cool, interesting, unique designs. I mean, some of them you can see the inspiration from Pokemon. Some are pretty big ripoffs, and other ones are all just unique, complete, interesting on its own. So I actually like a lot of the different pals in the game.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people kind of over exaggerate how close it is to Pokemon. I mean, it's close to Pokemon, but it also isn't at the same time. It just depends if it passes the squint test or not.
Yeah, the squint test. Yeah, I mean, other than just having like the Pokemon in it, the game itself plays nothing like any Pokemon game I've ever seen. So it's the game itself is unique to Pokemon. It's not a ripoff of the game itself at all.
Some people think of how it's open world. The newer games are open world, but from the open world games I play, it seems a lot different from than the Pokemon open world games from Power World.
Yeah, it's more of like Zelda Breath of the Wild, how like the way the almost even the way the graphics look, not quite, but that's probably closer to what I'd say. And like how you have the climbing mechanic, you can get a glider, you can like jump off cliffs and pull your glider out and float down. So I think they took a lot of inspiration from I guess probably just Nintendo games in general.
Whoever the creator is definitely a big Nintendo fan.
Yeah, no doubt.
I have a question. Is there like a mascot, kind of like how Pokemon has Pikachu? Because I feel like it might be that cat or that little green guy. I don't really know.
I don't know if they landed on what. It might be too early to tell, but to me, the most noticeable one is that electric one that almost looks like Pikachu because he's like I think he's on like the cover art of the like whenever you download the game, he's like standing there. I think he has like a minigun. I'd probably vote him, but I don't know if it's too early to tell.
Wait, the guy with the minigun? Oh, I think I see who you're talking about. I think his name is Grizzlebolts.
Okay, yeah, yeah, I think that's who I'm talking about. But speaking of him holding a gun, that's another thing you can through the upgrade tree. You get the different skills. You use your points to like get the different workbenches or like better. They call them pal spheres, which is a pokeball. You get better balls and stuff that increase your catch rate. Once you catch certain pals, you'll see on the tree that it's available that you can purchase it with your skills. You can get them like harnesses, so you can ride them like as a mount. You can get on ones that fly, and then some of them you can get them guns, and that's how you get their guns. You have to unlock it through the skill tree, and then you are able to actually build it. And then once you build it and grab it, then it equips it to that pal, so they can run around and like shoot with you and help you kill other pals or defeat the bosses.
In the game, you have like six different pals that you choose from that you're able to have in your like arsenal.
Right.
You can only have one out at a time, but using the leashes, aren't the leashes they make it so you can have multiple out at a time if you have a leash on them?
Oh yeah, yep, you can do that. So you have like your active one, like you were saying, you have six you can hold at a time. You have your active one, and if you get those extra upgrades, the leashes, it'll have them out on their own. So that is a pretty cool feature as well.
Yeah, but it kind of felt like they stayed too close to you, so they never really did anything. It was only useful if like one was real close to you and you were in like kind of close corners, and it would kind of push it away from you. But it wasn't really anything that would help you out a lot.
Yeah, in theory, it's a really cool idea, but in practice, it doesn't really help you out much, unfortunately.
More on the guns. I feel like people say it's Pokemon with guns too much. It's not at all. Is the only thing because it's the thing because it's there's guns in it, yeah, but it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Like you don't even get guns for a really long time in the game for your character, and then the pals themselves, like we said, you have to unlock it and build it to let them equip it, and only certain ones get it. So it's not like you can just go and find like a machine gun and just give it to your little cat. Like it doesn't work like that. You have to have like the specific one for that pal.
In the teaser, I remember there was like a big base, and there was like 50 different pals, all holding guns. I mean, you can definitely have like at least like I want to say I don't know, like 30 pals out at once, it feels like, at your base, but they can't even have guns at your base, I'm pretty sure. Only whenever you like throw them out of your arsenal.
I don't know if we got it yet, but I think there's like a mounted turret or something that you might be able to get that they might be able to man. But yeah, in general, you can't just like give guns to everyone.
I still love the game and all, but I wish they made it so you could just kind of let them run around with guns.
Yeah, that'd be cool if you could get like different guns and then equip it to each one of them, so your whole squad has like something specific.
Definitely not just Pokemon with guns, though.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of what the trailers almost made it look like. The way they like capture the different videos. That's what I was expecting. But when you actually get in there, it's pretty far off from the actual game.
Yeah.
And whenever your pals do have those guns or just any like the equipment in general, whenever you're out like fighting other pals, they'll be out like shooting the gun or anything. And the certain ones you can mount, you can actually pick like what move you want to use. So normally when they're out on their own, they're just using whatever attack they want. But whenever you hop on them and mount them, you can use like the moves however you want. So it makes it like you can be a little more strategic with it than just letting them kind of blast at random.
It's a pretty cool feature, but I don't remember using it that much to be honest.
Yeah, I mean a little bit depending on like who you're fighting, mostly just for the flying ones because when you fly, you can really like aim your shots and avoid the enemy attacks pretty easily.
We pretty much just use the flying ones from one we play now. But I remember near the beginning, you used to get on that horse and you would just ram through them and catch them.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was a pretty good one. I got the I don't know what it was, but he was like the horse with like the big
It's like a
giant
unicorn.
antlers. Yeah, something like that. He was pretty strong, so he would just like I'd ram it would just like one shot into the low one, so I'd just go plowing through, like dashing through, just getting experience. That was pretty fun. Do you want to tell everyone about your first experience playing? What you were trying to catch? Do you remember?
We were actually trying to catch that unicorn, I think. I remember we kept chasing after it, and we all freaked out whenever I caught it because we thought it was like the best thing ever.
Yeah, at the time it was for us because we were pretty low level. That was easily our best one that we had, and we tried to catch it before, and it would either run away or kill us. So you actually got him. It was actually pretty sweet.
Once we got it, I think I got the saddle pretty quickly after.
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
The one thing with the crafting, I remember that like whenever you would make a saddle, it took forever. If it was a good pal, like a boss, if it was Big Boy, or if it was the
Yeah,
or if it was Mason, if it was the Lightning God,
the lightning got her big boy.
it would take like at least 5 minutes just to craft it.
Yeah, some of the better things you have to craft do take quite a while. So that's why it's nice to get your base automated, so you can kind of just let it go do your own thing, catch some stuff, or go out exploring, and then come back and just collect all the stuff that your pals got for you.
The longest thing was the Lightning God's grenade launcher. That thing took forever.
Oh, to craft that, yeah, that one was worth it. That thing is super OP. It feels like.
Definitely.
So I remember I don't know if it was before or after you caught that like unicorn thing, but when you were playing, you went down. There was like this little guy sitting by this one little section. He just like hanging out there, and you just like start attacking him, and then it comes up and says like you're charged for assault or something like that. I guess there's actually like some sort of like security system in the game where people you can like get in trouble or something. And then next thing you know, you throw a ball at him and actually you can catch him. I was like, what? You just caught a human that you could actually add that to your party?
Yeah, you can catch him, and then you're actually able to sell him to other people because you're able to sell pals. So you're able to sell him as well.
Yeah, that was crazy. I couldn't believe it actually let you. I thought it would just like bounce off him or like a message would come up or something saying like you can't, you have to actually throw it at pals, but you actually just caught a human. I was like, geez.
The only thing that I was thinking was that if you put like a ton of them in your base, I wonder if eventually you would get like arrested or something. Because if you get in trouble for catching them, I wonder if you get in trouble for having them work at your base.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's got a whole team of workers. And we tried putting some of them at the base, but they seem like they're not very good. Seems like you're better off actually just using the pals, unless we just haven't found their actual use.
They kind of suck from what our experience of them. Whenever I threw a ball at them, I thought that when I thought that when GTA, whenever Franklin walks into a wall and he like throws his hands back, I thought he was gonna. I thought
Yeah,
the NPC would like throw his hands back and he would get all mad trying to shoot you.
yeah. The other big moment you did is whenever we fought Anubis. You wanna explain what we did to try to catch him?
We took one of our three bases. We took our coal mine apart. We disassembled it, and we put our base where Anubis spawn is. Well, a little bit far away because if you put it too close, it says that you're not allowed to do it. It's too close to a boss spawn. But we put it pretty close, and then we got all of our best pals. Like, I mean, that's when we caught Big Boy. I said that we need him for this battle,
Yeah,
and we like shot Nubis with a crossbow or something, and then we loaded him over, and then using like the system that allows him to work at your base, we put all of our best pals out. We had like 3 waves lined up, and then we just let him unleash on Anubis. He only killed like 12 of them, and no, he actually only killed like 3 of them, I think. And then we died once. Then we came back and he was almost dead. I think we died again, and then
yeah,
he was real low, and then we finally caught him, just for him to respawn like 15 minutes later.
yeah, yeah. At least he respawns, so if you do accidentally kill him, you can attempt it again.
Weren't you able to breed him somehow? Now we have like 3 Anubises.
Yeah, yeah, we can get into breeding here in a sec, but on that Anubis battle, that he was super strong. So it was we tried to fight him like one on one, but when you're out, you have your party of 6, but you only have one active at a time. So you try to fight him, and he just like dominates you. He was super strong. I don't even know without your little strategy of putting the base beside him. I don't know how we ever would have beat him. He was just ridiculous.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. I mean, maybe if you had leashes. No, there's no way that would work.
Yeah, 'cause those are almost worthless.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess if you got like Because there's like typings like Pokemon. So if you got like the correct weakness and got like all the best of his weakness, maybe you'd have a chance. Or maybe our mistake was putting all of our stats into weight rather than like strength and like focusing on making our character fight because we just rely on our pals to like do all the fighting. Because I think that's more fun.
That definitely would have helped a lot. There is, well, how you're saying about typings, there is so many typings. Whenever I was trying to find the Lightning God's guy's name, I found a website and it says all the types. I'm going to see how many types there are.
Okay.
It's saying there's 21 different types.
21 different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Pokemon has, but that's a good bit.
Yeah, I know that Pokemon, I only know the basics from Pokemon. I know like fire, water, earth. There's like dragon and fairy.
Yeah, they have quite a bit too, but geez, I don't know how you could keep all the weaknesses and figured out strength and weaknesses with 20 some.
I think that's wrong to be. I think I said that wrong. There's 11 different like strengths. Like you're good at carrying, you're good at gardening, and then there's actually only 9 different types.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad then.
Yeah.
And with the actual pals themselves, I think there's like 130, somewhere in the 130 range, but that's how many different unique ones there are. But the original Pokemon, I think there's like 151, but that's including like all the evolutions and stuff. There's no sort of evolutions in this game, so there's like 130 unique different pals. So there's a ton of them actually to find. We haven't even seen probably half of them yet.
Yeah, we caught a decent amount of pals though. There I just looked it up. There's actually 137 different pals in Palworld. In modern Pokemon now, there's 905.
Okay, I mean that's not bad for that's essentially just the first gen here. I mean, I'm sure eventually they'll add more.
I know this sounds kinda wrong, but 137's not even that far from 905 because Pokemon's been making Pokemon for how many years now?
Yeah, a long time, like 20 plus years. I don't know exactly, but it's been quite a while.
I don't think that Pal's ever gonna outbeat Pokemon, but it's different from Pokemon. It's not gonna be the next Pokemon because not. It's not Pokemon.
Yeah, it's just its own thing. It makes me wonder if Pokemon's gonna try to do something similar. I'm sure they're not gonna give their Pokemon guns, but I want like an open world Pokemon game. Like they could make it more like kid friendly, like Pokemon gears towards like not just gameplay. Gameplay can get pretty advanced sometimes, but just like the style and what's going on in the world. They can make it a little more family friendly and make something similar with Pokemon, and I'm sure that would be a huge hit.
Yeah, they're two different games. Comparing it's like comparing like Opera GX to Google. They're the same thing, but they're also completely two different things.
Yeah. The one thing you brought up that I didn't really dig into was the breeding. So you can unlock like a little, I don't know, I guess like a little breeding farm where you can put two different pals, and then you have to put in the box a piece of cake or like a whole cake or something like that, and then it makes an egg. And the breeding is kind of weird. It's not like the results aren't what you would expect. Like if you put like two fire different pals, you'd expect maybe to get like one of those as a baby or maybe like a different fire one. But it just goes purely based off numbers. So if it's like I don't know the exact formula, but for example, say it's pound number 50 and pound number 53. It just like adds the numbers together. I think adds one and divides by two, and that's the pal you get. So the breeding feels super random, like it doesn't make any sense because it doesn't care about the typings. It just goes specifically by the numbers. That's how they determine what the egg's actually going to be.
I bet somebody could easily abuse that by like finding out what numbers add up to Anubis and then just making 30 of them. And then they have the best team ever.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of what I did after I figured it out because you caught Anubis and I looked it up and found out how to actually make them. And because there's not, with like you consider that formula, it's not just one combination. There's like multiple combinations that can give you the same result. You just got to kind of do the math, or well, someone else already did the math. I just looked it up.
I know that how you said if you breed them, you get the egg, and then wait, if you breed them, you get the egg, right? Then you have to use the egg incubators.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
One going around the map, you're able to find different eggs, right?
Oh, yep, that's right.
And then the colors usually depend on what type you get.
Right, yep.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, just like you can find the little green effigies that increase your catch rate, you can also find the eggs that are just planted all over the place. Well, not planted, but sitting in like a little nest, and you can snag them up, take them back to your base, and hatch it and see what you get. Because a lot of the color is on the eggs. Like you said, they're just colored like by their typing, most likely, I believe. So if you see like a reddish egg, you don't know what's in it. It could be like any of the fire ones.
The eggs didn't seem too hard to find because we found enough eggs that we needed like two incubators at once because of how many eggs we were finding.
Yeah, I think we even upgraded to a third one at some point because some of like the common
Jeez.
ones, yeah, some of the common ones are pretty quick. They don't take long. But whenever you get like the huge eggs that are like more rare ones, it takes quite a while for them to actually hatch.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really a time system in the game. It would be cool if you could go to bed, then it would be ready the next morning.
Yeah, we did try that. We threw one in, then we went to sleep, and we're like, well, it's probably got to be at least like 8 hours, right? So I got to hatch whatever's in there, and the timer was on like 15 minutes, and it still wasn't hatched when we woke up. So it's got it doesn't actually affect it.
Yeah,
I don't know if I got much else. I mean, there's so much to this game. We can keep talking forever, probably. But is there anything else that we didn't talk about that you wanted to bring up?
I mean, we didn't really talk about how far the game's involved and evolved in the past couple of months since the release. I remember whenever we first started in our little bedroom place, you could run into the wall and then it would like put you on the roof, and then a week later it was patched, and then there was so many like different glitches, and then they were just fixed so quick. The dev team must be amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy because it was a really small team, I believe, just like some tiny indie studio,
Jeez.
and then this game just blew up like it ridiculous amount of sales and people playing it. So then they, I assume, got a massive influx of money, so they probably expanded their team. So yeah, they're actually doing like really good with keeping up everything updated and fixing bugs and stuff like that. So it's just only getting better.
Yeah.
I mean, we got it on Xbox Game Pass. If I didn't have Game Pass, we might not have even played this game. I'm sure I would have heard about it and wanted to, but just having it available on Game Pass made it so nice. I saw it like a couple days before it came out. I was like, oh, there's that game I saw a while back. I'll put it on for download. And then we ended up getting into it, and we loved it.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised whenever they didn't put it on PlayStation, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not exclusive to Xbox. It's just they didn't have a team develop it for PlayStation, so it's not like it's excluded forever from PlayStation. I would hope they get it at some point because that's a whole nother group of people. It's a ridiculous amount audience that they're leaving behind if they don't.
And the game's already massive enough without PlayStation.
Yeah, well, I guess us on Xbox or the beta testers maybe once they get it because this game is still in pre-release. It's not even like a full release game yet because they're still just testing stuff. So maybe once they actually get it finalized, maybe they'll work on getting it over there as well.
Yeah. Do you know whenever they started production for this game?
I do not know. I thought I heard it was like only like a 3 year cycle or something. So that's insanely fast for how awesome this game is and how big it got.
It was announced in 2021, apparently.
Okay, yes, that was about 3 years ago.
Yeah, and then it just released in January.
Yeah, I don't know anything about game development, but 3 years for the size of game we got here is pretty good.
Yeah, that seems crazy. I feel like. I mean, no, some of the bigger games probably take way more than 3 years.
Yeah, some like the AAA games, those take, I swear, there's like up to like 7 years an hour, something crazy for some of the big games on PlayStation and Xbox.
Yeah, we got Pokemon with guns before GTA 5.
Yeah, six, right?
Yeah, 6, sorry.
All right, so I don't know if we're gonna do this for every episode, but we're gonna tie it in with our regular arcadiology episodes. There are 137 pals in this game. What do you rate it out of 137?
I'm going to give it 92 pals out of 137 pals.
Okay, decent rating, especially for a game in pre-release here.
Because it's a really good game, but there's a lot of the bugs get patched fixed, but there still is a lot of bugs.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a little more just because the fact that the three of us played it, it was a nice game for us to all, me, you, and Ezra, to play and have fun with, and not like super serious. And I'm gonna give it a 102.
I'm gonna change my rating to 97 pals.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that's Palworld. I obviously we both recommend this game. If you have Game Pass, it's included, so you can hop in and play it. It is on Steam as well. And our intro and outro music is a metal cover of the Arcadiology theme song, which was originally created by Sky, but this cover was done by John Good. You can find more of his work on SoundCloud at Burn7. And have fun playing Palworld, everyone. You want to say bye?
Bye.